With fuel prices forcing the mammoths of the motor vehicle world to drive from gas station to gas station, a lot more attention has been turned on the smaller, more efficient cars. The type of cars that end up on the lower end of the lineup. And when you're looking at this end of the market, your expectations aren't exactly high. Which brings me to introduce the new 2007 Toyota Yaris. The Yaris was released earlier this year. On first impressions, it's a car that's designed for girls, one that family members usually call grandma. But was I in for a surprise? It's available in a four-door sedan as well as a hatchback, and you won't need to take out a second mortgage to keep this puppy running. The top-spec model sedan costs less than $18,000. That price puts it up against the Hyundai Accent and the Kia Rio. Now, the Yaris replaces the much unloved Toyota Echoes, and there may be some hesitation stepping inside the upgrades. Driving around town is an uneventful experience. However, get me onto the highway, and I seem to attract the attention of every pickup and SUV on the road. This caused me to drive a little more conservatively, not knowing if the other drivers were out to get me or if they just couldn't see me. The Yaris sedan is not the smallest of its class, and it definitely has a longer wheelbase than most of its competitors. Unlike other sedans in its class, the Yaris has a mostly pleasant look. Okay, from some angles it looks dog rough, but to err is human, and this is a human car. It's not the product of some wind tunnel or some silicon chip. It's a practical car, a car for those needs-driven kind of people. In deference to this conservative audience, the digital readout has been replaced by twin analog gauges, and unlike the hatchback, the sedan has three knobs arranged in a triangular layout that allows the lower console to flow up in a pleasing Y shape and around the lower dash. As well, the sedan lacks the dash-top storage bins and open bins beside the console, making it look less cluttered. It's a clean, classy look. While the Yaris is basic on the inside, it still gets the center-mounted instrument pod with unique metal trims, a signature piece carried over from the hatch. This is Toyota's idea of a global car, a manufacturing idea that minimally requires moving the steering wheel from left to right. You can be rest assured that putting your foot down for a quick launch at lights or for overtaking won't rearrange your face. There's no turbos here. Instead, the roar of the engine overtakes any sounds that you may be listening to on your radio, or is definitely a conversation stopper. However, the transmission is smooth and responsive, and the steering sharp and direct. The center console means that the feeling of having a cockpit is replaced by, well, a void, and you have to take your eyes off the road for a split second to see the necessary information. It also means that your passengers are privy to the warp speeds you might be trying to obtain, and this is information that I like to keep to myself. Now, what can I say about the exterior styling of the car? Well, it's a smoother profile than the hatchback, with a distinctive V-shaped hood leading down to a tapered, body-colored split grille. Nothing fancy. And in the back, well, nothing new to report here. Although the wraparound tail lights do have a quasi-BMW 3 style appearance. The 106 horsepower, 1.5-litre four-cylinder engine delivers characterless but honest performance. And considering that the traditional sedan buyer isn't a performance fiend, the 6.7 litres to every 100 kilometres is surely attractive. There's that roar of the engine, very loud, but it does tone down to a mute on a smoother surface, and you can hold a conversation pleasantly going at 170 kilometers an hour. Not that I recommend it. For a sedan in its class, it's quite roomy. You can quite comfortably fit 3 people in the back and 2 adults in the front. The seats have a 40-60 split, and that's about it. It's a Yaris. All joking aside, this vehicle will change the perceptions of the subcompact category on the whole, let alone the Toyota faithful.